Alright, so before we start this video, check this out. Let me get this clear and make this well known that I'm not trying to scare anybody from going to Jamaica, and I'm not trying to paint Jamaica as the most violent place in the world. So you can save yourself the trouble of putting that in the comment section at the end of this, right? Visitors to the island of Jamaica are rarely killed. I'm going to say it again. Visitors to the island of Jamaica are rarely killed. They make up about 2% of all the homicides committed in Jamaica in the last decade. Visitors to the island are rarely killed. I'm not trying to scare anyone from going to Jamaica. Alright? So all of the tourists them, fly go on to Jamaica, go enjoy yourself. Just be careful when you get there. All the people who haven't been there in a long time, it's time for you to go home and visit home. And for those who live there, you have to deal with what's going on there on a daily basis. We don't know that already. Alright, welcome to SoFlo TV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. So, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about the takeover of Jamaica and the way our murder rate continues to skyrocket despite all the efforts put forth. Some will argue that it's lousy effort, misguided effort, corrupted effort, and not really effort at all. Phony effort. Nonetheless, all the effort put forth by those in power to try to reduce the killings in Jamaica seems to not be working. Numbers don't lie. So I don't know if anyone else notices that every time the Prime Minister comes out and speaks about how successful his Zoso operation and all other covert operations that are not being spoken of, but trust and believe they're in action and they're bringing great results. Every time they come out and toot their own horns, check the murder rate numbers. They continue to rise and skyrocket, double, triple, quadruple. Watch. I'm thinking to myself, sooner or later there will be very few, if any, Jamaicans left in Jamaica. And I'm talking about born and raised Jamaicans left in Jamaica. With a combination of people getting visas, flying out of the country, many choosing to never return, or many choosing to live overseas and return only as visitors, with old age people dying off of the real Jamaicans, born and raised Jamaicans dying off, the younger generation leaving as soon as they get an opportunity to, and killing at a skyrocket number that it is currently. I believe we're averaging 160 murders every 30 days in Jamaica. Let that sink in for a minute. I want you to grab a calculator and do this math. 160 murders every 30 days. So 160 murders a month times 12. Times that 1 year times 10 years. Because, and I say 10 years because it seems like there is no end in sight, and this seems to have been going on for about 10 years now, and it's getting worse. So I'm thinking it's going to continue to go on for another 10 years, with the numbers increasing every year as they have for the past 5 to 6 years. This is not making up stories, this is facts, right? So check it. At this rate, I'm saying there will be very few real Jamaicans left in Jamaica. So for those of you who are worried and are talking about how the Chinese are going to be taking over soon, and that's why they're investing so much in Jamaica financially, they're buying up land, they're buying up and building highways, infrastructures, they're positioning themselves in positions of power. neatly placing themselves in our government, neatly placing themselves in our sporting events, neatly placing themselves in our socio-economic foundation. We can stop blaming the Chinese for seeing an opportunity and taking that opportunity, right? At the end of the day, we as Jamaicans are to be blamed big time, because at the rate that we're killing ourselves off, we can stop talking about Chinese people taking over. They won't have any kind of opposition. They won't have any kind of trouble taking over. At the end of the day, the way how we are treating each other and the way how we are living will be glad for someone else to take over. Let's hypothetically speak and say that Jamaica falls under Chinese leadership. Let me say this before. I just saw in a newspaper where, and I don't know, I might do a topic, a video on that, but I just saw in a newspaper where China is to coach Jamaica in six different sporting events. 6. They will lead Jamaica coaching staff in 6 different sporting events, to include football, swimming, gymnastics, and badminton, and I forgot what the others are, but it's 6, right? It's in the Daily Gleaner, or you can go and read it for yourself. We are incapable of even conducting our own affairs, even in sports, that we need Chinese people to coach us for football. Really? I'm sitting here and I'm reading a story, and let's see if this resonates with you. The story says that Jamaica murder rate continues to climb unabated. Police blotters indicate that more than 900 murders have been committed on the island, with some 285 days or 7 months gone. This was 7 months into 2017. We all know by now we are in October, and we have 2 more months to go, and we are way past that 900 mark. They tell a story of a guy that got a phone call, and he was standing at the bus stop, and his co-workers are saying that he was very worried. This story is about a man that was murdered in full view of people at a bus stop, route taxi operators, and other members of the public at a busy intersection. The victim was only 29 years old. They said that he left work and he was standing there on Chancery Lane in Meadowbrook. The morning of that fatal day, he had received a phone call, and everybody says the phone call got him very worried. His co-workers, his wife had just had a baby 2 weeks ago, right? About 9:47 p.m. they say a white car rolled up. Somebody dressed in all black walks calmly out of the car. The car drives away. I'm trying to show you how blatant and brazen killing has become. Us killing each other in Jamaica has become. If you can wrap your mind around this, right? The car, white car, drives up, broad daylight, drives away after someone jumps out. The person dressed in all black calmly walks over to the victim that was standing at the bus stop with his fellow co-workers at the time, walks up to him, shoots him 1 time in the head, and begins to walk away. The crowd did not even flinch. Of course, 1 gunshot, everybody is thinking, what the hell just happened? I'm sure those who were close by him and saw him fall probably were in dead shock. They said the guy walked away couple of feet, turned around, came back, and pumped 6 to 7 more bullets into his head and upper torso. The gunman then rushed to the white car. This is the only time the gunman actually ran to the white car that was parked on another section of the roadway for an easy getaway. Alright. Nobody has come forward to say they saw anything. This is broad daylight at a very busy intersection, bus stop. No one has come forward to say they have seen anything. And of course, the killer remains on the loose. This is a typical story of what's going on in Jamaica, right? Remember, we spoke before about how Jamaica needs to have a lot more cameras put in place and a lot more, a more stronger way of dealing with murders. More severe penalties for dealing with murderers. A lot of us are saying bring back the death penalty. And at this point, I was one of them that used to say don't bring it back because the good is going to suffer for the bad and some innocent people are going to be executed. But at this point, I think some sacrificial lambs is needed. So, I don't know. What do you say? Leave your comment in the comment section below. Is it time to bring back the death penalty for Jamaica? And is it time to put Jamaica in a fishbowl and put cameras everywhere? Don't worry, the Chinese will have no problem taking over. It's SoFlo TV, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As usual, I'm out.